Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'd just like to request, if you can hear me, if you can please just type yes in the chat box. Thank you. Okay, so we're back again with a very interesting syllabus, the performance arts syllabus. And if you're joining us just now, if you look in the chat box, you would see that I've posted a couple of links for you. Firstly, of the syllabus, so that you can make reference to the various parts of it that will be discussed. And of course, we've also provided you with a link to the earlier version of last week's webinar, wherein we touched upon grades initial to 3. We've had a lot of good feedback as well. And particularly what was heartening to note is that many teachers wrote and said that we had no idea that there was a syllabus like this available to encourage not just the traditional Western forms of performance art, but indeed some of the Indian forms of performance art. And so we're exceedingly happy that we are able to do this series for you. As you probably all know, this series is being led by a dear colleague of mine who is exceedingly well-versed with this syllabus. She has an LTCL or a licentiate from Trinity College London in performance arts. And of course, she's a very well-known educator in the field of drama across the country and has her own outfit known as the Joy of Drama. She's a colleague of mine as well with the academic team of Trinity College London. And in case you haven't figured out who I'm talking about, please make welcome Vaishali Chakravarti.
Hello, thank you, Dale.
Great. Okay, so Vaishali, I must just tell you that looking through some of the feedback from last week's webinar and indeed some of the questions as well that came up, I think it was very, very enlightening and interesting. And most importantly, an eye-opener. And if I can just spoil everyone's secret over here today, or at least Vaishali's secret, is that today she's actually going to perform some of these things for you to help you get a better understanding of the syllabus and all that it's possible and what all you can do with it. So I'm going to sit very quietly in a corner and help keep the back end alive, along with my other colleague from operations based out of Chennai, Soumyan. We're going to kind of work the chat and the Q&A boxes. But of course, my one big request to you teachers, please, today is you're going to have very many questions, which are quite unlike the regular syllabus ones that you see pertaining to perhaps speech and drama or acting or communication skills. So please do not hesitate to ask questions. It'll just bring about so much more clarity for everybody. All questions, I'd like to request, please, that you put them in the Q&A box so we can track them. And Vaishali will shed some light on them right at the end of this webinar when we do a Q&A session. So here's to a very, very interesting webinar. Vaishali, all yours. So that was Vaishali's internet connection and not a performance art in mine.
All right. Thank you, Dale. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Time for some more fun today. Those who were there with us last Friday, this kind of will be a little bit of, 30% of it will be a repetition. But those who are joining us today, you're here for some good fun and good information. So let me just go into what we are going to look at today. There might be an internet problem, but please don't worry, I will be back. I have 2 Wi-Fi connections, so it'll just take me 30 seconds to switch if there is any issue. So we will first look at the syllabus, and then we look at the construct of the TCL syllabus. So how the syllabus works, what is there, what is not there, what are the learning outcomes, assessment criteria, attainment descriptors. Then we are going to look at the skills that we actually hone as we do performance arts. And then we are looking at the 4 and 5, the 4th and the 5th grade content syllabus at the end of the workshop or the webinar. Please feel free to ask any kind of question. Please remember, just like we tell our students, that no question is silly, no question is stupid. Please ask questions. Is the same thing, the same practice that we should also, do. And please ask questions. They might look very simple. They might also sound very silly to you, but every question is important, because if not you, then who will ask the questions? All right, let's begin. Performance arts syllabus. So I'm just going to stop sharing for a moment so that all of you can look at me. So performance arts syllabus is a fantastic syllabus to work with, especially if you are an Indian, or especially if you are from a country or from a culture where you have an array of things to do. So as Indians, we all know how to sing, dance, story tell. We also know a lot of other things like cooking, maybe playing an instrument, and that instrument could be as simple as this. And I'm going to use it and show it to you. So it is very important that we look at this syllabus as an empowering syllabus. Now, why I say this is empowering is because I know how to sing, but I don't know how to speak English that well. So I won't be able to take a Trinity Speech and Drama exam probably in the beginning, when I start off. But I know how to sing. If I know how to sing, then most definitely I can take a performance arts exam. And along with singing, if I also know how to move my body, I can take a performance arts exam. I'm sure that all of us, whoever is there, know the value of a live performance. The reason all of you are here is because you have been performers at some point in time of your life. You have tasted how performance feels on stage, and you know what it does to you within you, right? So we have to look at this exam as that performance that uplifts the spirit of the performer. So as teachers, we get a lot of students who come who want a lot to express, but because of language difficulty or any other kind of linguistic inadequacy, they fail to communicate. They fail to express the way they want to. But here, it need not be that you are you're speaking fluent English. We don't really want that as a mandate. If you can communicate, very good. All Trinity examiners actually look for that. They want good communication, and good communication does not always mean impeccable English pronunciation and speaking. Especially for the performance arts syllabus, those who are starting off, those who are there in smaller parts of the country, those who have bilingual parents, those who have parents who speak Hindi or their mother tongue at home, it's difficult for those children to speak English fluently. And performance arts exams really empowers those children. And once they've done this exam, learning and speaking English becomes very, very easy for them. So that's the reason performance arts syllabi is extremely empowering. And if you are sitting in Ahmedabad, or if you're sitting in a small town in Tamil Nadu, or in West Bengal, or in Punjab, please feel free to explore this, because all our states are rich in performative arts. And we are going to look at how we can bring in our ethnic performance arts into this particular exam. So let me go back and share my screen. So what I was saying is the performance arts exams provide candidates with the opportunity to create contemporary theatre that reflects their personalities, their interests, or culture using performance skills that they already have or they want to explore. Okay, so the reason we call creative contemporary theater is because theater is everything, right? Theater is not just acting. Theater is dancing, it's singing, it's doing stunts, it's doing martial arts. Theater is the moment where there's an audience and there is a performer who's there to communicate with that audience. The moment that happens, theater happens. So please don't get, don't get bogged down with this word that, oh, we have to do theater. Theater is anything that is performed on stage using various skills, not just acting, but various skills, performance skills to communicate a story. Moving further on, this is usually grade 4 and 5 as for middle schoolers. So if your student is in class 6 or 7 or 8, this exam, this grade is most suitable for them. So grade 4 and grade 5. Now, all of you have the syllabus with you. If I may request those who have the syllabus, please open it. Take a look at the syllabus because this is going to be an interactive workshop. I'm going to ask you certain questions. You have to kind of respond to them. Only then we can move forward. Also, because this is a performance arts webinar, spines need to be straight. So if you're lying down on the sofa, I know you've just had your lunch, please sit up and let the spine go up, because the moment the spine goes up, we all know that we are more aware and more receptive of whatever we listen to. So thank you for that. Let's go into the performance skills that can be showcased in performance arts exams. Now, before I go to that, I think all of you have a particular performing skill that usually you give to your children, you teach your children. I want you to type in the performance skill that you have and you teach your students. Please type in very quickly the performance skill that you have and that you teach your children. It could be dancing, it could be acting, it could be filmmaking, it could be mime that you're teaching, it could be mask work that you're teaching, it could be various forms of dance that you're teaching. Maybe you're teaching Odissi, maybe you're teaching folk dance, maybe you're teaching Kathakali, or maybe you're teaching Bharatanatyam. Whatever you know you're skilled with, and you impart that skill to your children, please type it on the chat box quickly. It does not take more than 5 seconds to type. So please type, because that is going to lead us to our next discussion point. So I'm getting a lot. I'm getting Inshia Rasiwala does mime. That's great, Inshia. And the reason I also ask everybody to share their skills is because please note that we are a community of educators. If I know something that I can teach my fellow teacher, or I can help my fellow teacher with teaching her students or his students, my skill is available to be taught. So I'm there to share my experience with my fellow teacher. So this is a great a bank also where we meet people with different kinds of skills, so that if Nalayani teaches acting, and if she wants somebody to come and teach mime to her children, then Malayani can get in touch with Inshia, who is just written that she teaches mime. So I think this is a great idea to kind of share your skills so that we know how rich we are already. All right, so in the house, we have lots of skills, fun songs. Reshma is writing fun songs with a little dance movements. Abhiya is saying singing. Ashima, I don't know, Ashima has not written what she wants, what her skill is, but I'm sure there is always a skill that we can teach, and that's a performance skill. We have speech and extempore, which Deepa is saying, and then we have Preeti, who's saying that I have a skill to improvise. We are going to talk about that, Preeti. And Reshma is saying she has a skill to shout. Oh, not a bad skill. We'll come to that also. And Meena Thomas is saying that she is a singer. Urvi Datta is saying she uses puppetry. She can also teach puppetry. And Ashima is now saying acting through language or whiz. Okay, all right. So thank you so much for sharing what you can do, and whatever you can do as a performer can be taught and can be assessed under the performance arts syllabi. Okay, so if I know how to juggle and if I know how to move and juggle, that can be a performance skill that I can show. If I know how to sing and if I know how to compose a song, write a lyric, then that is something that I can present for my performance arts exam. You'll see in speech and drama exams and acting exams, we hardly get a chance in this grade and the lower grades to compose our own, write up. We don't get to compose our own poems. We don't get to compose our own stories. We have to learn, somebody else's writing. We have to memorize. Here, your children can get this freedom to compose on their own. We all know our children love writing poetry. Now, when they say, ma'am, can I perform my own poetry? You can say, yes, you can. You can compose your own poetry and recite it. You can write your own story and narrate it. You can write your own music and play it. And you can choreograph your own dance and dance it. So this is the reason performance arts gives children a lot of power. Because the moment the children know that I have presented something that I have created from the scratch, it not only increases the self-belief in the child, but it also increases the self-belief in the teacher. So when you're teaching performance arts, teach for yourself, okay? Because you will see that as a teacher, you are getting more creative ideas to combine different performance skills and present as a part of the examination. So let's look at the next slide, which is actually exploring culture, traditional performing arts, and multilingual content. The content need not be only English. Today, I'm going to sing you a song. I'm a Bengali. I'm going to sing a Bengali song. But the content need not be language specific. It need not be only English. Yes, if you're doing a monologue which is in a different language, you need to present a translation of that monologue. All right. So that's very important. Translated work needs to be presented. So if I'm singing an Assamese song, I have to present a translation of that song. If I'm reciting a Bengali poetry, I have to present a translation of that poem so that the examiner exactly knows what was meant to be communicated through this piece of text. So that's one important thing. Please note it down. Translations in case you're doing anything in your own mother tongue. All right, let's go into the specific life skills that performance arts teaches us. Let's not look at this. Let me ask you guys, what do you think performance arts teaches us in the field of life skills? How does it make us life ready? Type in what you feel performance arts can do to a child. Definitely, I've told you, it increases self-belief. What else do you see change in your child or in your student when you are teaching them performance arts? Confidence. Deepa is saying confidence, definitely. But confidence is a huge term. Where? Very good. Lolita is saying more expressive. They become more expressive. They become more confident on stage. They become more confident with their bodies. What else? Shed inhibitions. Excellent. Sense of achievement. Very good. Very important for assurance to happen in a child's life when they're growing up, especially this age, because puberty is hitting. Their mind is going haywire and they want something to focus on where they can release their energy. And I think performance arts is the best place to release energy. Self-esteem, self-expression, time management, very good. Urbi is saying teaches us to express us freely if I cannot verbally communicate. Yeah, mime, or puppetry, or maybe shadow theater, or maybe mask theater. So through this, you can actually bring students who are nonverbal, who don't talk too much, who are termed shy, to express. Enjoyment, yeah. What else? What other life skills do you think this teaches you? It definitely makes you more imaginative. Thanks, Sheetal, for mentioning that. And yes, Inshia is saying it definitely helps explore more things. You definitely explore more things because you're not just exploring which poem to do or which story to write, but you're also exploring what can I tell, what can I write. So yes, audience awareness, very good, Susan. Thank you for that. Audience awareness is very, very important, because if I'm constantly doing this and talking to you, it won't work, right? So in performance arts, when you get into the mode of performance or performing, you definitely become more confident as a person. And yes, Reshma, you're right, identifying their own talents. Very good. Let's go back to the PPT, as we are now going to look at what exactly performance arts syllabus does. Okay, now this is a little text heavy slide. I really don't like text heavy slides, but we have to do this. But I'm going to read this out to you. So these qualifications are designed to focus on developing skills in a variety of forms, including poetry, prose, play extracts, in a range of styles and from different periods. Candidates and teachers choose their own performance forms in which they have a particular interest and builds confidence. These exams can present candidates with practical, creative tasks that prepare them for situations in both education and the workplace, thus enabling them to develop invaluable 21st century skills in communication, creativity, and confidence. When we talk about developing skills in a variety of forms, we can go beyond just literature. We can go into music. We can go into different instruments. So instrument playing instruments. Then we can also go into dance. We can also go into the various other performance skills which are available to us over here. Okay, so now let's look at how the syllabus works. Okay, now the syllabus has two different categories. One is the category which only tests your performance skills, and then there's a category which tests your performance skill as well as a contributory skill. Now, those who were there last class, last session, we did speak about the difference between performance skill and contributory skill. But those who have joined us today, what do you think is the contributory skill in a performance? What skill do you think contributes, say, in a mime performance? Because we have somebody who is a mime artist over here. So what do you think is a contributory skill for a mime performance? Anybody who has the answer, quickly chat. Quickly type it in the chat. What could be the contributory skill for a mime performance? Makeup. Thank you, Ophelia. Yes, makeup. Thank you, Reshma. Script. Thank you, Reshma. Music. Mime can also have a background music, so you can compose the music. Yes, Meena. Thank you. Telling a story. Script again. How you script your mind. Excellent. All right. Thank you. So you have a performance skill, and then you have a contributory skill, which contributes to your performance. Now let's look at the various combinations that are possible for performance skills and contributory skills. So this is something that I've just, mocked up for us. It's very basic. So this girl over is a dancer, so her contributory skill becomes makeup. All right. So if my performance skill is piano, my contributory skill is composition. If my performance skill is mask theater, my contributory skill is making the mask. So mask making becomes the contributory skill. If my performance skill is dancing, then my contributory skill could be makeup and costume both, or choreography, okay, or stage direction, or light design, or music composition, okay? So let's look at, let's do a quiz, okay? Now this quiz is, I'll give you a performance skill and quickly you have to type a contributory skill that goes along with it, all right? Okay. A folk song, what could be the contributory skill when you're singing a folk song? Got you. Lyrics, instrument, lyric writing. Okay, so if you have improvised the old folk traditional song, then that's a contributory skill. Good. Okay, second quiz. Second question. The cookery show. If my performance skill is doing a cookery show, what would be my contributory skill? Speech. Very good, Shamira. You guys are getting there. Very good. Presentation. Presentation is the performance skill, Susan. That is not the contributory skill. The contributory skill could be script writing. The contributory skill could be the set design. That could be the contributory skill. The contributory skill could be the chef's costume that you're wearing. That could be the contributory skill. All right. Cuisines. Again, cuisines is something that you write, so that becomes the script. All right. Okay. Now the third and the last one. Okay, it's very, very tough. A trapeze performance. A trapeze performance. What will be the contributory skill for a trapeze performance? So walking on the rope. That could also be lighting. Very good set design. Excellent music. Very good. Yes, music. Costume. Excellent. Excellent. Background story. Meena, got you. Yes. So isn't this exciting? I mean, if I'm just doing a dance, I can have so many contributory skills. I can design my set, I can design my costume, I can do my makeup if I want to. If I might do my hair if I want to. So that will also come under contributory skill. So I'll tell you how these combinations happen and how they work and how they again empower you. Okay. Many of us know, and I've seen that we have children who really don't like to talk, okay? But if you give them to draw a poster, they will draw the most beautiful poster on the earth, all right? So if we have to pull that child out of her shell, we give her to design that poster. And then as a performance skill, we ask her to give a speech about that poster, okay? Now the poster could be in context of environment, clean India, green India. Okay, very cliche, but works for this. Now, if I have that poster, I will tell the girl to come and talk about clean India and green India. And I'll tell you, because she has made that poster herself, she'll be able to talk about it. Okay. So when you're working with children who are a little into their shell, give them the contributory skill first to do, and then give them the performance skill to do. That way, they will feel the ownership of whatever they have done because they have used their hands and senses to create what they had to create as a part of their contributory skill. And because they have done it, they feel indebted to the contribution that they have made and hence do the performance. So that is a very good way to jumpstart the children who are timid, who are always inside their cocoon. All right. Now, this is a huge list of performance skills. Magic. Yes. Physical theater. Yes. Movement to music. You don't have to dance. I can move. I don't know any form, but I am a die-hard fan of contemporary dance. And I really, really like watching contemporary dance. So what I can do is I can move to any music, and that becomes my performance skill. Fencing, make sure that you don't hit your partner in that. Fencing is an amazing, performance skill that you can show. Also karate, a karate routine. One of my students had done that. She had done a karate routine. as she was saying a poem. So we'll come to that. Grade 4 and 5, they demand that you mix two different performance skills together to create a performance. So we'll come to that. So this is a list of all the performance pieces, performance skills that you can show. Now let's go into the contributory skill. Okay, so here, the contributory skills could be, as we just discussed, makeup, commentary. Okay, so suppose you have made a film and you're showing the film. Okay, your contributory skill could be the commentary on how you perceive the film, how you started from the scratch, writing the script, doing several drafts of the script, going for a Reiki, going and shooting, and then messing up your shoot. Talk about everything that went into filming that. And nowadays, children love filming, and especially during the COVID times, every child has filmed at least one short film. Okay, and those who are interested in performance arts. So you can ask your students to film and talk about how the experience was while they were filming. Definitely, there should be some technical details in the contributory skill description also. For instance, how I created the story arc, how I looked at the graph of the scenes, how would they progress. Then if I have handled the camera myself, then how did I play with the shadows, what kind of aperture I have used, what kind of settings I used on my phone. So all these technical details need to be given when you're talking about your contributory skill, be it about filmmaking or dancing. Now, if my contributory skill is choreography in dance, what do you think the technical details would be? Anybody who is a dancer in this, in today's webinar, please write down, if I am doing a dance and my contributory skill is choreography, what is the technical detail, one technical detail that I will give while talking about my choreography? Please know that no answer is wrong, okay? There could be a semi-answer, but no answer is wrong. Yes, I've got something. Rhythm, very good. Thank you, Mishtali. Rhythm is very, very technical, and one needs to be in rhythm while you're choreographing. Anything else that you feel goes as a technical detail while you're choreographing, you're doing a choreography for a dance piece? Light and sound, style, very good. Yes, style is very good. Light and sound, yes. How are you using sound? How are you blending light? If there is a use of light, that also is a part of choreography. Please don't think that choreography is only dance. Light plays a very, very important role, and definitely music plays a very, very important role. Anything, classical, folk, anything. Any other technical? Eye movement, very good, very good. Sud and tal, very nice. Costume, yes. Costume, yes. Anything, any other technical thing related to dance? Lines, guys, lines of your body. So how you're managing your lines and how you are maintaining rhythm and time while you perform. Body flexibility. Yeah. All right, let's go on. And this is the entire list of contributory skills that we can showcase. Now, there's something that we already have, okay? And these are our different syllabi that we already have, okay? So I would request Dale to just share the links for downloading these 4 syllabi on the chat. There you go, everybody, you can download them. And okay, are they the links, Dale? I don't think that these are the links. So Dale will be sending in the links shortly, but those who have these syllabi with you already, I want you to pay your, take your attention, bring your attention to, I'll go back to Meena, I'll talk about contributory skills during the question answer time. I just have 9 more minutes. Let me just finish this quickly. All right. So if I am in a doubt, okay, oh, what performance skill should I perform? Huh? What should I do? Don't worry. Take your communication skills syllabi. Okay, I have this. Now I open grade 5. Suppose we are doing grade 5. And in grade 5, in task 2, it says, the candidate delivers a current news story as if for radio, podcast, or TV. Now, if you're doing that, you become a TV presenter, and that's a performance skill. You are presenting as a TV artist or a TV anchor, and you're talking about a news piece, a news item, which is, in the current affairs. So you can bank onto the other syllabi, okay, and borrow the tasks from there. Acting solo, grade 5, okay. In task 1, there is the candidate performs 2 contrasting play extracts from memory. So play extract could be something that you can look at, all right, or monologues. Then musical theater, grade 4, this syllabus. In task 3, they say that the candidate performs from memory a monologue, which then moves into a song, okay, which is again clubbing speech or acting with singing. So these 2 skills come together. All right. So please borrow from the already given syllabus. Look at them and then mix and match the performance skills. If you look at speech and drama, then in speech and drama you have performing a poem from memory, performing a prose passage from memory. All these are performance skills. In fact, one of my students did a grade 4, and he is a big time, full-time gamer. He loves playing games. And what he did was he did a commentary of a pre-recorded game. He showed it on the computer. And as the game was happening, he was just giving commentary of what was going on in the game that he played. That was a performance skill. And he took the performance skills grade 4 examination, where 2 performance skills combined. So the first one was when he was playing the game, and then the second one was when he spoke about that game. All right, so I keep experimenting. Please don't be afraid to experiment. There is no, oh, is this right or is that right? Everything is right. You have to believe in your own teaching. You have to believe in your own student. And if there is any doubt, please call us. Please get in touch with us. All right. Going back to the PPT again, after we have borrowed everything. These are things that you can find on the syllabus. You just have to read the syllabus. That's it. Okay. Everything that you need is there already in the syllabus. Let's talk about exams now. Okay. So the exam definitely has the first task as demonstration of 2 performance skills in this case. Okay. Then as a second task, it has demonstration of another set of performance skills or a contributory skill, which is usually a talk. And then we have a reflection task, which is the third task. Now let's look at grade 4. This is the grade 4 performance arts solo 2020 syllabi. If you see, task 1 says the candidate gives a continuous performance sequence demonstrating 2 performance skills. In grade 1, 2, and 3, there was no demand of continuity, okay? But this is level 2 of the RQF. And what is level 2? Level 2 is intermediate. Grade 1, 2, and 3 were the foundation grades. Now we enter intermediate grade. So as a student, as a candidate, I should be aware of how I move from one skill to the other skill seamlessly. And that is what we teachers have to ensure that the children do. They need to understand what is continuity. They need to understand that there is one narrative, okay? It's not 2 different things that you're doing. So continuity is very, very important. Please note it down in grade 4 and grade 5 and above, okay? There has to be a sequence of thought which then becomes a continuous thought, which becomes a continuous program. I hope I'm making sense over here. If you cannot understand what I'm saying, please put it down on the chat. And if you have questions already popping in your mind, please share it on the Q&A section, okay? Please do that. Start typing your questions if you have already some questions in your mind. Okay. Now, as I told you in grade 1, 2, and 3, it's the foundation level, but sustaining a character, sustaining a performance, sustaining the skill, okay, throughout the performance is what they are looking at. That's sustaining. In intermediate grade, sustaining plus continuing the thought. So it's very important to see that the children are expressing just one idea and not several ideas. Okay, if I'm doing Krishna Leela, I'm talking about Krishna's story and I'm dancing on Krishna's song. I'm not talking about a Jataka tale and dancing on Krishna's song. So this is something which needs to be extremely clear. You are just saying, you're telling one story, you're not telling several stories. That's where the continuity comes, okay? So in grade 4 and grade 5, the sustenance part is again tested. In grade 4, if you see, the maximum time allowed for the task 1 is 6 minutes, whereas in grade 5, it's 7 minutes. Okay, I'll take you to grade 5. So the time increases. Grade 4 is a 16-minute examination along with the reflection questions, and grade 2 is grade 5 is an 18-minute examination with the reflections included. So there's a 2-minute extension in time, which means that the examiner is expecting that the child, whoever is performing, is sustaining his or her performance furthermore for 2 minutes and maintaining continuity. So that is something that you'll have to keep in mind because this is a test of building and staying in that character for a length of time. All right, so if you can see here, the candidate gives a continuous performance sequence demonstrating 2 performance skills, okay? So I'm going to do it now for you. I'm just going to share a little song. So this is basically, this is a song which I'm sure many of you know if you have watched the musical Cats, and I borrowed this from grade 5 musical theater program, this particular task, and it's called Gus the Theatre Cat. So if you already know the song, come sing along with me. But here what I have tried to do is I've tried to combine poetry along with singing. So these are the 2 performance skills that I'm combining and I will be presenting. Okay, all right. Gus the Theatre Cat by T.S. Eliot. Gus is the cat at the theatre door. His name, as I ought to have told you before, is really asparagus. That's such a fuss to pronounce that we usually call him just Gus. His coat, very shabby, he's thin as a rake, and he suffers from palsy that makes his paw shake. His coat's very shabby, he's thin as a rake, and he suffers from palsy that makes his paw shake. Yet he was in his youth quite the smartest of cats, but no longer a terror to mice and to rats. For he isn't the cat that he was in his prime, though his name was quite famous, he says, in his time. And whenever he joins his friends at the club, which takes place at the back of the neighboring pub, he loves to regale them if someone else pays, with the anecdotes drawn from his palmiest days. For he once was a star of the highest degree. He had acted with Irving, he has acted with Tree. And he likes to relate the success on the halls, where the gallery once gave him 7 cat calls. But his grandest creation, as he loves to tell, was Fire for Fiddle, the fiend of the fair. Thank you. All right, so this was something that you could make your children do, where I combined singing along with speaking poetry. All right, and it was just a 2-minute piece for the time being. But if you're looking at a longer piece, which is 6 minutes, you can use movement. So I can move around as I sing, and I can also use physical space. I can do some physical theater along with that. So you have actually combined not just singing, not just poetry speaking, but also a little bit of theater. All right. So makes sense? It does make sense. All right. So let's go back to what we were doing before. We were looking at the syllabus of grade 4 and grade 5. Now let's look at the syllabus of grade 5. Let me just share the screen again, please. There we go. All right. Now here, if you see on the notes, very, very important. Please do check the notes always before you start teaching your children. Character, mood, theme, or narrative should be clear in the performance. Okay. Now, this wasn't there in grade 1, 2, and 3. We didn't talk about character. We didn't talk about narrative. We did talk about mood and theme, but not character and narrative. So here, as teachers, we understand. Now, this is what I did. Okay. This is what we understand, that they're looking for how you interpret. Okay, how you interpret the performance. Now, for me, if I had to interpret this performance that I did just now for you, I would say, well, I am a friend of Gus's, and I'm trying to remember what he did. And I'm telling my fellow cats over here. So I've created the character. That comes from my interpretation of the entire sequence. The mood is nostalgic. The theme is maybe animals. And the narrative is the story of my friend, Gus. All right. So these things should be very, very clear in the child's mind when you are training them for this particular exam. All right. If we go back to this, we have the poem and the song. We could also do a story and the song and a song. Okay. So are you ready for another performance, short 1-minute performance? Yes. If it's yes, then I can go and do a Bengali song for you so that you get some variety. All right. Okay, great. Thank you. All right. So this is a very, very famous song. Children love it. Those who are from Bengal, I'm sure you have taught this to your children at least once in your life. So let me do this. And this I'll be doing with a story. Okay. This is a story of Gopi Gain and Bagha Bai. Gopi was a singer, or tried to be a singer, and Bagha was a drummer who could play all right drums. One day, they were off into a jungle. And what did they see there? They saw ghosts. And there was this king of ghosts who gave them 3 boons. Raja Dilobar. Raja Dilobar. जबर तीन बार एक दो तीन जबर तीन बार एक दो तीन भूतेर राजा दिल बर. So the first boon was that they could eat whatever they wanted. The second boon was they could wear and go wherever they wanted to. And the third one was that they could sing and play the drum so beautifully that the entire world stay astounded. Bhooter Raja dil bar, jabbar tin bar, ek doi tin jajai khete khaite pari, ek number, jekhane khushi jaite pari, dui number, sani da pa magare sagaite pari, tin number, kemon sundor, Bhooter Raja dil bar. All right. So this is a little song that I grew up singing, and I love this film. And I created my own story. I was just creating it as I was singing. I didn't prepare for this. But you can train your children. You can show them the film. You can tell them, okay, write your own story based on the film, and then you give them the song to sing it. And they will love it, I'm telling you. I mean, and you will love it as a teacher. You will enjoy it thoroughly as well. Okay. So let's go back to the PPT, and please share your questions. And if I've already answered them, thank you so much. Let's go to the next slide. Yeah, this is very important, guys. This is very, very important, and I want you to really pay attention over here. This is also there on the in the syllabus. Please go to page number 20. So you'll find the assessment criteria over there. Now, if you see, in the assessment criteria, you have perform using and sustaining defined skills to produce an accurate performance that conveys character, mood, theme, or narrative. Okay, so I had all the four, didn't I? I had a character, okay, who was a singer. I had a character, all right. Then I had a mood. The mood was very happy, right? And then I had a theme, which was ghosts. And then I had a narrative because I was telling you a story. Okay. So, but if I had, done something like, Raja Dilobar, Jobber, Tinbar. So if I would get, very serious while singing the song, but I'm telling a funny story, that would be sustained skill. Okay. So you have to make sure that there's a sustained skill throughout your performance. Okay, your child's performance. Then demonstrate technical proficiency in delivering the defined skills. Now let's see what technical proficiencies are. Okay, this is something that you have to go through yourself. If you do not understand anything, or if you need some clarity on any of these, words that you see in the syllabus book, please do write to us. Please do give a call to Dale, and we'll reach out to you immediately. Now, these are the techniques that we usually work with our with our children when we are teaching them speech and drama, and all of us are mostly drama teachers. But if you are a singing teacher, you will know this. If you are a dance teacher, you will also know this, because in dance there definitely is stress and there's definitely is pause. Okay, so when we're talking, when there's a reflection in the reflection section, when there's a conversation with the examiner, where the examiner asks about what contributed, how did you work towards your performance, then they should use these technical terms. Okay, pitch, tone, stress, and pause. If you are worried about, okay, what could be the questions that will be asked, right now there is a digital exam that's going on, and you can log on to our website and download the support document, okay, for the digital exams. There are lots of questions and answers that are given over there, which you can work along with your students when you prepare them for this particular exam. But the best thing that I do is I look at the speech and drama syllabus, okay, and the musical theater syllabus. The speech and drama syllabus and musical theater syllabus, exactly right, what are we expecting the children to talk about? Okay, are we expecting the children to talk about inflection and intonation, or are we expecting them to talk about pause, emphasis, stress? It's all written. So if you have a doubt whether, okay, what are the technicalities that I should teach my children for a performance arts exam, look at the speech and drama exam And that will help you understand what could be the possible technical details that you need to give to your children. Okay. All right, let's move on. Oh, okay. This is the distinction attainment. Okay. Now I'll tell you how distinction becomes merit, and how merit becomes a pass, and how pass becomes a before pass or fail. Okay. Now the work presented was clear and accurate and had a sense of fluency throughout. There was some expressive use of performance skills demonstrated with technical accuracy. There were imaginative choices of interpretation. There was a clear linking thread of character, mood, theme, or narrative, and creativity in the design and realization of the performance. Now here, everything was clear and accurate. Okay, you can see the words accurate, clear, fluency, imaginative, okay, clear, that's the word. Now, this will become a merit the moment the work was somewhat clear, had some sense of fluency, had some technical accuracy, okay. There was some clear linking thread of character, and in pass, you will see the word clear just vanishes, okay. There was some link, there was some accuracy. There was some expressive use of performance skills. So you will see some, you know, the word clear vanishes. So there's only some. And for the students who go for, you know, get into the below pass category, there will be words like there was no, you know, the work presented had no sense of fluency. There was no technical accuracy. There was no linking thread of character, mood, theme, or narrative. So this is how they mark, and this is how you also attain distinction, merit, and pass. So please make sure that the children are fluent, you know, according to your standards when you are training them. That's about it. Oh, what a show. Let me call Dale back, and maybe Dale, you can take it from there.